And that brings us on, I think, to the Black Panther trailer.
Oh, yes.
Now, this really sucks for me. Not because it wasn't good, but because long before we had this podcast, I predicted that Namor would be in this film.
Oh, and you don't have the clip to show.
Yeah, so I don't have any ability to. If you go back to episode 12, because I mean
Show the
that's
receipts.
info. But like, I'm pretty sure if we went back in the MCU group chat, that's like 3 years old at this point or whatever, I said Namor is going to be in Black Panther 2.
I actually think there is a previous episode where we talked about Atlantis.
For sure.
So in a way, there is like
I don't count anything in the podcast as like long enough ago.
Okay, well,
which is my problem. But I've believed for a long time that Namor would be in Black Panther 2. And maybe it was blind hope that has been rewarded. Because I love the character. But I am so fucking hype.
I just also, for people that have listened to the podcast for a while, update on Black Panther's production. It has completed. We are in final stages. I just thought I'd let that update out in case you didn't know. Breaking news.
You know when we discussed Atlantis before?
It was when we were doing all that stuff.
It was when you mentioned on the production that set leaks of water filming.
Yes, that was it.
And I was like, oh my god, that's going to be Atlantis because the Namor's in it. Boo. Yeah.
You're like, it's happening.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say now, and maybe not everyone agrees, but this Black Panther trailer was the best trailer of any MCU film we've had.
Yes, it was gorgeous.
Just the music, the way it was put together, the shots, the visual, like, it's stunning, emotional. I'm so glad we got a trailer. It was so good.
It really was.
I watched that trailer like 5 times in a row.
Yeah. So I think we did get a synopsis, but basically what I can tell is Wakanda has lost T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
And as a nation, there's a bit of infighting about it. And then countries of the world, now knowing how powerful they are like, hey, yo, be a shame if someone colonized you. And it looks like part of that issue may be Namor coming to claim land. I'm also hearing a rumor that the soldiers that were seen could potentially be some of Doctor Doom's soldiers, similar to in the comics when he tried to invade Wakanda.
Yeah, so there's been a few different theories of different things I've seen. I think it's safe to assume from the trailer there's shots of T'Challa's mother and sister in like black outfits, upset. I think that's linked to whatever his funeral is. I think the white outfits that we see walking through the city, they're carrying the Black Panther mask. I think that's not necessarily a coronation, but like the passing of the mantle to whoever's the next one. One theory I saw, I think it was you that told me the Doctor Doom one, and the soldiers potentially being that. Also, a theory of like, because isn't Atlantis built with vibranium and stuff as well?
I do not know.
I think there's something about they have similar like tech, or they also have some and you've used it. So then there's one theory that those two are fighting.
I mean, they're both advanced civilizations that have tried to stay hidden.
So one theory is because Wakanda's now more known, and they've seemingly blaming his mother's blaming it on the world, and is obviously going to the nations and being like, look, we've fucking had enough of this shit. I'm wondering if them revealing themselves, this is like the two are fighting for vibranium.
Maybe.
And the soldiers are like either US government or Doctor Doom just being like a third party trying to like get involved. But But yeah, I wonder if there's going to be some sort of like vibranium war, which is why we're seeing those two like nations
possibly.
fighting.
I also noticed in the trailer when we saw baby Namor being born, he had
Yep.
the wings on his feet, which
Didn't
is
notice
very
that.
iconic of his character. And if they would have got rid of them, it would have pissed a lot of people off.
Good spot and good little detail then.
Yes.
I love the fact that they were fucking riding on humpback whales. That looks sick.
It's so good. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's a little bit to wind you up. It's a little bit because I genuinely believe it.
Okay.
If you want to make a film that looks really good and base it in water, this looks better than the next Avatar film.
I'm not going to bite on that. You good try. I'm not going to nibble. Because there's things that I've seen broken down now at the Avatar trailer that I know you're wrong. So that's as much of a nibble as you'll get out of me. But I will say the Black Panther, the shots they've done underwater, and clearly, obviously, like
phenomenal.
to have people riding on a whale, that's all fucking CGI. Let's be honest.
No, they actually trained people.
Oh, sick, cool. Didn't know that. How do I get involved? It's a new ride at Disneyland.
Yeah, your mother.
Oh, okay. Just going there, are we? Yeah, all
Not
that
your
stuff
mother in
looks.
particular. It was more of a joke.
No. Those shots look incredible. I think like some of this, I love the Aztec themes and then bringing that into it. Because if they are going to call like wherever they are Atlantis, and they're going to play into that, then I guess they can kind of theme it how they want. So making it Aztec kind of makes sense. Also means I said this to you, I think the night the night we were talking about stuff, is that then ties in the Aztec gods that were in Thor: Love and Thunder that people might have spotted.
You've also got to remember Namor's half human, half Atlantean.
Yeah.
Which is why we get that really cool sequence of him being born in the water and then walking out of the water, like as he's growing up.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited. I know we don't have a ton of plot details. We only really know that Wakanda's in trouble and stuff's gonna happen.
Yeah, it seems Wakanda's in trouble. There's a lot more of. We're finally going to see a lot of the different tribes linked with Wakanda and each of their like own visual styles. So we sort of saw it in Black Panther 1, like when they're doing the ceremony and there's like the water tribe and all the different like figureheads. But we might actually finally get to see like all their own, I guess, like visual language of each of the tribes and stuff, which will be really cool.
We also got to see our first look of Riri Williams.
Yes, we did.
Who looks like she can be almost taking on Shuri's role.
Yeah.
As like the
tech
R&D person for Wakanda.
Yep.
Which makes me believe, at least for part of the film, that Shuri is going to have the Black Panther role.
Yeah.
But do you want to know what it is? My only reason to believe that Shuri does not remain Black Panther is because of Letitia Wright.
Okay.
And her maybe not being in the best favor with Marvel figureheads.
Yeah, but that hasn't stopped them just having someone then recast them later.
I know, but it's one thing to recast someone who's a side character. It's very different to go, okay, we're going to take the Black Panther mantle and give it to Shuri and then recast Shuri and then...
Also, we don't know if like they've moved past whatever issues they had. And
yeah, also true.
We also saw the start of the Iron Heart.
Yes.
The tease of that that suit being made.
I'm very, very excited. And I'm going to say it now. So, I guess partially so we have the clip in case people try and say you're just being a bandwagoner. If anyone goes after Ironheart for not being a good enough legacy character to Tony Stark, kindly go fuck yourself.
Agreed.
Riri Williams is a phenomenal character who works on so many levels, and if adapted well from the comics, should get all of the love and all of the desire you have for an Iron Man-esque character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to find it really difficult to believe that your reasons for disliking her aren't based in race or misogyny. So, unless there is a glaring issue they make with the character, in which case you shouldn't blame the character, you should just be angry at Marvel for ruining the character, you should have no real complaints.
And if you're also going to try and turn around and say, oh, well, the boy that was at the funeral should be Iron Man.
No. It was a boy. He was there for a gimmick. He was
there to tie in the story.
He was the physical presence of Tony's conscience. It's not that deep. You moaned about Iron Boy Jr. and Spider-Man. They're listening to you. They're giving you Riri. Grow the fuck up. She's going to be brilliant, and I cannot wait for the Ironheart TV show either.
Yeah, that's
very, very
really
excited.
Good. And then I think the only other thing in the Black Panther trailer was like the last. They teased that shot of the black and gold, which is like the Killmonger one, but I don't necessarily like. You've also got to remember the Killmonger. People were like, "Oh, is that Killmonger then?" But you've got to remember the Killmonger's suit was just like
Golden Jaguar.
Well, yeah, it was just an iteration of the Black Panther suit that T'Challa didn't want. Like, and it was just an R&D'd one. So it's not like he didn't keep that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see what they'll do. I mean, overall, like, just the trailer visually looked amazing.
I think the fandom has moved away from the you can't recast Chadwick. That was the knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, I think. Well,
I think people have realised that actually recasting Chadwick isn't a huge issue. I think what we get is we get a variant, but that won't happen in this film because the fandom hadn't decided it was ready to potentially move on.
Well, the thing as well is like everyone was like, "Oh, you can't recast Chadwick," and it's like, well, you didn't necessarily need to. They obviously have come up with a way to write him out, and that is true to the character and is like clearly going to be well received. I think.
I think the potential issue is T'Challa is the Black Panther. Yes, there have been other Black Panthers, but T'Challa is the Black Panther. So I think a lot of fans were like, yes, it is horrifically sad that Chadwick died and he was phenomenal. However, the best Black Panther stories are T'Challa stories, and T'Challa is such a rich character. And when it's a character that is a minority character, I think you don't want to potentially risk losing out on that character.
No, but I think for MCU's sake, like you can get away with having someone else take on the mantle, and don't necessarily for MCU's sake have to be T'Challa, so that you can still respect Chadwick, but not lose the character and the representation that Black Panther gives.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it. I'm very excited, and yeah, I mean, it always happens. A trailer for the next Marvel project comes out, and I'm like, okay, cool. Hype train. I'm on it. My ticket's pre-booked for all of them, but I forget about them until the trailer comes out, and I'm like, yeah, let's go, run it.
I will be watching this film like a day before the episode.
Nah. So do I not tell you? We're going big time before that, and we're going to be at the premiere.
Oh, sick!
Yeah, I've decided that I've made that decision.
I'll remember an hour before.
Yeah. Imagine though.
You never know.
One day.
But yeah, overall, I'm glad we got a Black Panther trailer from San Diego Comic-Con. Especially because there was a period where we had no clue what was going to be going on with Black Panther.
And it was actually getting me a little bit concerned about the quality of the film because of the production breaks as well. But,
yeah.
It seems like they managed to work around them pretty well.
Yeah. Those breaks were obviously needed, and they've worked well with the time that they have taken, like extra time they've used and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Black Panther 1 was amazing visually and culturally, so I'm sure this next one will be as well.